Fräulein Anna O. fell ill at the age of 21. The present, spoken incessantly, falls, manifest, paralyzing, until a passion that would not heal was going on inside her. Absurd to me to finger the rucked fabric of the telling, noised and nonsensical, ravelling, unravelling, and grope the given alphabet there. Sometimes I want to kneel, wolf low to the ground, and with my other slung mouth throat instead the animal cry there. Sometimes I want to shriek, noise opened, not made, but I don't. I am 23, remembering being 15, remembering being 8. Ways of stopping. Momentary distraction, say a door ajar or spurious punctuation, fraction lapse in concentration, the skin of the heel on the concrete, weight unmediated, incurable, loss of balance or control, slowing, naturally drawing to a close, or loss of momentum so pronounced, unwinding, unravelling until stillness supersedes. An intrusion, say a kind of textual nostalgia or the call of other voices, a mistake, correction, readjustment, reflection, a decision, the assertion of mind over matter, fatigue as in a lull, a dip, exhaustion, abandonment, fear, being petrified, terror-rigid, panic-ridden, stupefied, dumbfounded, dreads hands over the skin crawling, stiffening, doubt as inconsistency or frayed nerves or gutlessness, embarrassment causing a receding and internalizing, a turning away from, or a blush, the interruption of violence in 2 parts. 1. Interruption interred, a stitch or a snap or a masochism, thirst, a strain, tendon slack, untwisting or bruise, bone heavy and breaking, an injury, bodily malfunction or like a kink, a chink, something swallowed, collapsing. 2. Interruption imposed, fright, a noise or a feeling stealing upon, a hood pulled down, thrown light on a pale wall, impact, a clouting or collision, the bumping of uncouth bodies or a hostile dialogue between a body and... From here the room seems to be falling apart. This is how it begins. At Place Saint-Henri, we crossed the railway track, and I searched the shelves for words to bring the bodies dancing down. I was careful not to speak when I was breathless, and she said, "This is where the poem begins." And I wore borrowed nostalgia at my throat. The carpet is stained under the rug, but she's tripped on it before and doesn't need another reason to. The crease of the crook of an elbow, a jawline, jarring, ball joints, thighs, scooping. Maybe she falls down again or sits suddenly and heavily back in the chair, which is much bigger than she is, but does not take up so much space in the room. Fatigue is in a lull, a dip, abandonment, exhaustion. My untimely Dinah Booth confession, incongruous as I unspooled myself, and she says, "Not to discourage you." And I circle certain words and I'm wholly discouraged and furied. Indistinguishable. An intrusion, say a kind of textual nostalgia or the call of other voices. Eating, balking at the words on the page, gagging, spitting sometimes. Nothing can bridge the cavern opened up by my ravenous incomprehension. Here the thievery begins. Doubt as inconsistency or frayed nerves or gutlessness, embarrassment causing a receding and internalizing, a turning away from, or a blush. I stopped a year before I really stopped. I broke that fall a year before I fell. Witlessly she has brought time's beggars, memories across the threshold, and the past tense begins to make itself known like fallen snow. Épaule stays with me, interruption interred, thirst, a strain, tendon slack, a mistranslated body parts, a stitch or a snap, the names of things, bodily malfunction or like a kink, a chink, something swallowed, collapsing. That makes a marionette of me, but the strings tangled and knotted, and so I only twitch and thrum. To get up, getting up, she was getting up when... Momentary distraction, say a door ajar or spurious punctuation. Fraction lapse in concentration, the skin of the heel on the concrete. Twisting wrists when the word was for shoulder and I knew it, and I still can't remember the word for wrist. Interruption imposed. Impact, a clouting or collision. Bumping of uncouth bodies or a hostile dialogue between a body and... This is how it begins.